Hey guys, welcome back to the show. A little bit different today. I don't have the little man with me, it's just me. And not talking about a specific video game or no statues yet. Gosh, shipping is so bad right now. We're also dealing with a lot of snow. Everyone knows that. So nothing like that today. I want to do a little bit different of a video, a little bit more off the cuff. So today is February 20th. It's a Saturday. And yesterday, Phantom Strikers, Persona 5 Phantom Strikers, came out digitally. And I've already seen a lot of people doing gameplay on YouTube, and it's gotten me back to a topic that I've discussed before, you know, with other friends in real life that play games many times. This has been going on for years. So anyways, I just wanted to share my thoughts on this topic. If anyone does see this video, if you have thoughts on it that's different, I would love to hear that, because it's something that I'm pretty passionate about. So anyways, let's get into it. What I want to talk about is digital releases of video games versus having or owning a physical copy of the game. So first of all, I'm a little bit older, so I am more old school. And, you know, when it comes to video games, I still love having a case. A manual is always a huge plus to me. But just something about having a game on a case, like all these back here, you get to display them, you get the pride of showing what you have. That's just my mentality. So, man, where to start with this? First of all, why do I like to have them? Like, besides the fact that I can display them, I always remember that I have them, I can go through them. But I actually own something. One of the biggest things I don't like about digital games is I feel like you never really have something. You can play a game, yes, but I feel like even though you pay $60 or whatever, you're never really owning that game. If you, lose your account for Sony or for Microsoft or whatever, or something happens where they don't offer that game anymore, like lots of things can happen digitally that you have no control over. Whereas physically, if you have the game, nobody can stop you from playing it. So for me, that's just like a huge security thing. I just love to have the physical game. I just don't like that idea of, like, I don't really feel like I ever own the game. Another thing is, if you own the game physically, you kind of have more direction on what you want to do with it. You know, one of the biggest arguments I always hear, which makes sense for a lot of people, is having enough space to store the game. So, people are like, I can't have a huge collection because there isn't place for me to put those games. Okay, that argument actually holds up. That makes sense to me. I can agree with that. However, if you have the physical game and you're done with it, you can do more with it. You can either, trade it into GameStop. I know a lot of people hate GameStop, but at least you get something for it. Especially if you're going to buy another game that you're going to play, you trade that in, you get something off towards the next game. Or if you really want to go through it, you can sell the game for even more on your own through eBay or whatever means and get a lot more money than you would from GameStop. There is more hassle with that. Obviously, you have to sell it and package it and ship it, but you can get more money for it. So you're actually getting something if you don't want to keep that game in the future, as opposed to just deleting it from your hard drive and then you don't have it unless you want to download it again, but it's not doing anything for you. So for me, it's just to have those options. Obviously, I don't sell my games, but for people that don't want to keep a large collection or have a large collection, that's to me a better option, is to be able to then take those games and get something back towards the next game you're going to play. And I do really like to, just be able to display the games behind me and down here in the game room. So why is this coming up now? Obviously, if you've watched this show before, and if you haven't, thanks for stopping by for this one. This is a big weekend for Persona fans, S&T fans, with the digital edition of Phantom Strikers coming out. What I don't like about this specifically, and I like the idea of the company sending out like digital codes to reviewers, YouTubers, whoever that are going to be able to get their reviews up in time. No problem with that, but with people buying the game digitally early, less people are going to buy it physically. And more companies, not just Atlas or Sega, but a lot of companies that do digital sales, they release the games, you can get them before physical, which on the one hand, yes, makes sense. There's no distribution. Once the game's ready, they can just load it up and you can download it onto your system. I get that part of it. it's easier to do than ship physical copies of the game all across the world. However, they're also, I feel, deliberately releasing them early digitally before physically, and they're including more bonuses in the games. And I think that's for a very specific reason. I think what they're doing is trying to get enticing more and more people to buy the games digitally and buy them early. So then they're going to be like, well, I already own it. I'm not going to spend the money again to buy the physical edition. And the reason that's important is the more people that buy them digitally, they're going to look at in the long run over the next few years or however long and say, oh, well, more people are buying it digitally. Physical media is not as popular as it was before. People don't want them physically. So we're just going to start releasing games digitally only. And that's where they're going to really start taking advantage of the consumers. All these bonuses or extra, features like unlock costumes or whatever it is that they include in the digital pre-order bonus, whatever they want to call it, those things will start to go away, and it'll just be straight up, you no longer own the game at all. And on top of that, there's no bonus to picking up digitally, but they're going to release less and less games physically because they're going to say people weren't buying them physically. So then that's not going to be an option. So to me, in the long run, I'm looking at it as kind of anti-consumer. I know that's a little conspiratorial, but that's just how I feel things are going. I'm super happy that people are playing Phantom Strikers. I'm doing really my best not to watch anybody do playthroughs because I don't want to, ruin it before I get my copy next week. But man, I'm just not a fan of digital media. I haven't really heard any good arguments for it except for the space argument. But once again, I still feel like there's the, still added bonus to the consumer to buy it and then just sell it when they're done. The only time I do agree with digital sales is for smaller, like indie companies. I've bought a few really, smaller games off of the eShop to support small companies that are obviously really good games. So I think that's great. Not all these companies have the capability of, there's my fair. Not everyone has the capability of, producing a game physically and selling, mass distribution. I get that. And for those small companies that are, trying to make things happen, that's awesome. I totally, support that for small games. But for all these big companies, I just can't support digital sales. If you do support digital sales, I would love to hear your reasons why. I'm not, no arguments or fighting. I just would love to hear, a different side of the story. I just can't get behind it. But here, let me get, this is Zelda, by the way. She's just chilling. There we go. Let's get her off the table. Yeah, I don't like digital sales of games for anything, really. But if you do, let me know why. I would love to hear it. All right, you guys have a good day. Oh, no, I'm going to save it for later. You guys have a good day. Bye.